So here's the right side hinge that we're going to show you how to remove. Actually only the aluminum part, the hinge itself. We're going to leave the arms in place in the top, and that allows you to do this job as a one-person job. You don't have to take the whole top off. There's only a number of bolts that need to be removed. There's 3 bolts in the front that bolt this hinge to the car's frame, as well as 2 bolts that go straight through here. The upper bolt only needs to be removed. The lower one gets loosened, so you ultimately then lift the hinge out of that lower bolt. And this travel limiter is attached with 2 bolts. The idea is that on the arms on top that are attached to the top, we take out only the rear bolt and the middle bolt, and we leave the front bolt in place. You only loosen up the front bolt. That makes it a lot easier later on to get these 2 bolts back in place. You don't have to fish around and figure out where did that bolt go. Things stay aligned. Plus, if the arms stay in place, you save a little bit more trim removal. Anyway, what you do need to do, and you'll see that while we're working on it, is we'll be removing this snap ring. When this snap ring is removed, we can tilt the inner arm out of the way, and then once the whole hinge is loosened up, we remove the snap ring on the outer arm, and imagine the outer arm is still basically attached to the top. We can then push the hinge out of this outer arm and out of the way. It's pretty simple if you know how to do it. Let's first get this travel limiter out of the way. 2 Torx T40 bolts. You can use a ratchet or a regular Torx wrench. I'm using this one so I'm not completely in the way of the camera. Upper bolt and lower bolt. I'm taking these off while the hinge is installed because it's actually easier that way. It's easier to take these bolts off while the hinge is not moving around. Otherwise you exert more energy just holding the hinge in place, and this travel limiter can stay in place for now. Then the rear bolt on top of the hinge is easily accessed right here. So let's take that one out. After that, we're down to the middle bolt and the front bolt. But before we move to those, let me do another step while the camera has this angle. I'll reach into the view here for a moment, because I'm going to get the top of the 5th bow cylinder out of the way just by removing the M6 circlip on it. I can now get this cylinder out of the way, tilt it out of the way. The reason I'm doing that is it gives me access to the 2 bolts that hold the hinge, that bolt the hinge against the car's frame. Now, in order to remove those 2 bolts, I'm going to get myself a 14mm ratchet right now. A ratchet with a 14mm socket. So next is removing 2 14mm hex head bolts. Actually, we remove only the upper bolt and the lower one gets loosened. What works for me right now is a ratchet with a swivel extension, not because I want the swivel, but because it's the right length to get the tool on there. Break it loose, and we'll take this bolt out all the way. I think I can screw this a little faster if I take the ratchet off. Yep, got lucky. This one is coming out easily. And as I said, on the lower one, we only need to loosen that upper turn or 2 so that the hinge in the end can be lifted out of its slot. Well, we must be getting close here. Wow, that's quite a few turns. I've moved this bolt about 3/4 inch by now. Is it loose? Not quite. It's almost out of here. Bear with me. Okay. Here's the bolt we took out. And the lower one, the engineers left some room there actually to get our ratchet, our socket head onto that bolt. Pretty well done. That's why I'm impressed with the engineering on this top, how everything is fairly accessible. So this one we just loosen up a couple of turns, and you can see how everything is starting to be a little bit looser already. Now for access to the to the middle and front bolt on the hinge arms, we had to undo this strap that you normally find, that has a Velcro on it. You normally find the strap fastened like this, so you may have undone this already if you were forced to manually open the top, because then you have to take this out of the way. So we got this strap out of the way, and we took off 3 tabs on the inside here. 1, 2, 3. From the inside of the car, we just put well, I used a screwdriver. Better to use an upholstery removal tool to pull these 3 tabs off of this plastic arm, so that we can get the fabric out of the way here and reach in to get at these bolts with our Torx on a ratchet. Now I cheated. I had one of these bolts loose already and just took it out by hand, and now if I have my small ratchet on me, then I can just loosen the bolt in the very front. I think you can see it, and that should be good enough. So again, the front bolt we leave loose, middle and rear bolt we take out. Now we're down to 2 bolts in the front of the hinge. Follow me. We get access to the front bolts by removing this trim panel here. A trim removal tool comes in handy, but a screwdriver will do the trick too. We're really just looking at pulling out 8 tabs here. They don't get damaged easily. You just need to know that you push in straight towards the middle of the rear seat, and this panel comes off. And then we're looking at removing 3 bolts. So here my finger is actually reaching in from the hinge behind. Here's the lower bolt, middle bolt, and up there the 3rd bolt, that are a little bit awkward to get at in the position that the top is in now, but we have a trick. I'm outside already. I'm going to lift the top hinge out of that lower resting bolt, move it backward, and now we have much easier access to these 3 bolts. Well, I managed to pull this right in front of the 14mm hex head bolt that we didn't take out all the way, so bear with me. I'm unscrewing that. You don't normally have to unscrew it, but the way the top moved, it fell into place this way. And now I got my lighting back. There we go. Now it's easy to get at these bolts with a ratchet with an extension Torx T40. Remove those 3 bolts and your hinge is free. I have an ultra cheap snap ring removal tool on my inner snap ring here. Spread the snap ring apart, walk it off the axle. Snap ring is off, and now I can just push the inner arm off the hinge. We repeat the same thing on the outer arm. Same thing on the outer snap ring. Spread it apart, walk it off the axle, and now we can move the outer arm off the hinge by simply prying with a screwdriver until it is off all the way. There we are, the hinge is off. Ta-da! So we have removed the 2 arms from this hinge. We can now move it around freely, and next step is sliding these clips out of the way so that we can pull the hoses out. Now the clips can be a little bit stubborn to get loose. Theoretically you can grab them with needle nose pliers, but I don't like that because it tends to flatten them out and you want to reuse these clips. So the better solution in my eyes is one of the following 2. One is you slide your small flat screwdriver behind the clip here and then pound on it from behind. The idea is to just loosen it a little bit, move it the tiniest bit, 128th of an inch or so, or a 64th of an inch is enough to create a gap so that you can put your small flat screwdriver in between the clip and the hose fitting here and pry it loose. Now we have it over the tough spot and we can slide the clip out of the way and then remove that hose. Same on the bottom. Have your screwdriver here, tap on the end of the screwdriver to break this loose a little bit, then get your screwdriver in there and push the clip out of the way. Don't lose them. Well, they can't fall far anyway. That's another thing I like about this car. It's hard to lose anything because things are so well accessible and not too many deep holes here. So now we only need to pull out the hoses. Number 13 on the top, on the left side it would be number 11, or number 12 on the bottom. On the left, 14 on the bottom on the right side. On the left side it would be number 12. And then we install the new hinge. Before we install the new rebuilt hinge, let me show you the difference on the left side. The left side hinge has 2 micro switches on it. One, two, to show you the upper position, and one to show you the lower position. These micro switches are attached with 2 Torx T25 bolts. No need to show you how I unscrew it all. So just these 2 bolts come out and your micro switch assembly comes off. Now let me also show you how this plug is attached to the wiring harness. This plug is fastened to the chassis with a tab. Theoretically, you can push a lever inside this tab and slide the tab off the connector. It's easier to just pull this whole tab up. Now, if you turn this sideways, you see there's a tab in here that you push up and against, and the whole connector comes apart. Ta-da! So here's our newly rebuilt hinge from Top Hydraulics. I've already put the 2 hydraulic line clips in place so that I only need to slide them a little bit farther once the hose is in. I have also put an O-ring already that was supplied by Top Hydraulics with the hinge. Put an O-ring onto this fitting. The way the fittings get installed is slide them in at a right angle. Easy does it. There's a bit of tension on these hoses. They don't have that much give this far down, so we need to adjust the angle of the hinge more or less to the way the fitting comes. And now suddenly, if I have it at the right angle, it goes in easily. I'll just give this clip a little knock and it's almost completely secured. Secure enough to install the lower hose with the even number on the bottom. Again, this one has the O-ring already on the fitting, and I just need to get it into the hinge at the proper angle so the O-ring doesn't get kinked and it just slides into place. That is easier said than done right in front of the camera, because I can't move my elbow in front of the camera, so I'll just move around, look like I don't know what I'm doing, and first get the cylinder out of the way, try it again. Make a little room and get this in at just the right angle, and the clip will slide into place, and we'll have that hose on there. Now I'll just tap on that clip some more and have it into place. Tap on this some more, have it into place. Put the hinge back where it came from. We reinstall everything in reverse order of how we put it in, how we took it out. So put the arms on the hinge first, then attach the rear bolts, then lift the hinge into place onto the one bolt that should still be resting there, and attach the second 14mm bolt. Then last attach the two bolts on the upper hinge arms here, and then attach the travel limiter, that black piece of steel, to the back of the hinge, and everything is ready to go again, except you will still need to fill the pump. We'll show this in a separate video at the end of this series. When the top is up, there's a gap in the spline for the outer arm that is pretty much on top of this axle. And when we reinstall the hinge, we want to make sure it is turned such that this gap is on top. And then we just need to line up the hinge to the flat spot, such that the flat spot in the arm overlaps with the gap in the spline, and things will fall into place. So basically, as you move the arm, suddenly it clicks into place and everything fits.